Oh my G-O-D, I'm in Jesus' house, she screamed, yelled as he came his Jesus juice in her.
It was Dumbledore the whole time.
Do this nightmare.
Yeah, go team.
Go somewhere else. Heavenly High by Not Fo You 2, Chapter 6. It was 8th P-Rod of Trinity's next day of school, and she made it through the whole day, avoiding the creeper guy who said he was going to do bad things to her the day before, and she had snuck off with Harold a lot to make out, and they had more sex, no condo, behind the dumpster. It must have just been like a duplex or little rambler. Buddy and Athena are in the class with her, and except Buddy doesn't talk in class at all much with her because he's a goody shoe-toes. And Athena was giving her nasty looks. N-A-Z-T-Y, nasty. Oh no, she didn't. So Trinity was kind of freaked out by her ugly prep face given those looks. She was in the Espanol, that's Spanish, class, and they were learning about sombreros and stuff. Right now they were actually talking about Carlos Mencia. Trinity would rather learn about George Lopez. So she wasn't really listening, and she was relieved when the bell rang. As she leaves the class, Athena jumped her on her into a locker and was like, "Bitch, you better listen up. Don't mess with me. Stay away from Jesus." And Trinity would have kicked her ass, but she was having her second day of school and thought it was too soon to get in trouble. Eat. And then Athena just waked away before Trinity, 'cause respect my Trinity, could say nothing, and she was really confused. Stay away from Jesus? What the fuck, she thought. Again, she said all of that. Then she saw Harold standing at the end of the hallway, and he was coming toward her. Hey, I can give you a ride home if you want. And then there's just 3 completely vertical lines. I don't know what that means. Like, they're not L's or I's. They're just... He said to her, and she was aggressive to say yes, because the bus driver kind of freaked her out. Okay, thanks, she said back. They walked out the doors to go to his car together, which was a really expensive Volvo, just like the one Edward Cullen has, because he's so hot, and that makes Harold hotter, because cars are hot, and I want a pink PT Cruiser, lol.
Is that all one sentence?
You better believe it. All the while they were walking outside, Trinity saw Athena in the parking lot a-glaring at her. She was just a-glaring at her, and she looked really pissed off. And Trinity and Harold got in the car together, and it was comfy, too. It had leather seats. IDK what her problem is. She got cut off because Harold turned on his sexy, hot Volvo, and his car started to fly. OMG, your car flies like the bus. WTF, she said out herself to Harold, and her arms flew in the air in surprise and her boobies bounced everywhere, and Harold got a boner. Yeah, it does. Hey, do you want to come stop by my house for a quickie? Yes, Trinity. How could not he want to fuck her when she was so hot and she had nice tits? Yeah, okay, Trinity agreed because his car was so hot. They got to his house. It was really big and had like 5 floors and like 10 bathrooms or something. There was even 2 outdoor pools. There was one inside too even. Wow, they're stinking rich. Harold was loaded, obviously, which made Trinity think he'd make an even better dad for her babby. Hey, what are you saying about Athena earlier? Harold memorized right while they were fucking his really big water bed with really soft satin sheets. Oh, she was just being really bitch to me, and I was confused because she said to stay away from Jesus? Athena replied. IDK, so goth I don't believe in God. What, you didn't know? Harold acclaimed. What? I'm Jesus. OMG, I'm gonna come. Oh my God! I'm in Jesus' house! She screamed, yelled as he came his Jesus juice in her. End chapter 6. These chapters never disappoint. Heavenly High by Not For You Two. Chapter 7. Chapter 7. It was next day her third day of Trinity's schooling at Heavenly High. She was avoiding Harold, aka Jesus, because he was Jesus. And she thought about it, and she thought he was Jesus, so Jesus wasn't supposed to have sex. She did think Mary Magdalene, but that was just rumoring. So all day she avoided Jesus, 'cause she knew if she saw him, they'd do it, and now it was after school and she didn't have a ride to have to home. Every bone was gone in the parking lot was empty, and Trinity had no idea how she was gonna get home. Then she noticed there was still a hot emo creeper guy in the parking lot and was staring at her again. Stop staring at me, you creep man! Trinity screamed at him top of her lungs because he was seriously freaking her out, man. I just noticed you don't have a ride home, he said. Yeah, so? She said. While I'll give you a ride if you blowjob me, he said. And Trinity said, okay, because she really needed a ride. And the wind blows his hood off again, and he still looked so hot with scene hair. She got in his car, which was a really hot red-looking Ferrari Civic. I don't think that's a car. And then in parentheses it says SP? I also don't know what that is. And the inside wassail feathery, and it was really hot in there, and I don't men hot like his scene hair, but hot like temperature. On the dashboard was a lot of drugs like pot and weed. That's the same thing. And ecstasy. Hey, wanna snort some pot first? The hot creeper asked her. She thought drugs were hot. Osh was scared, but said she yes. Yes, she said. He gave her a straws, and she put it up to her nose, and up the pot, and snorted it. She was so stoned flying high, she doesn't even remember blowing his dick. But she remembered when he cummed in her mouth, and it was so hot it burned her tongue. She was like, that is so hot, but not hot like you're hot. Scene hair, hot like temperature, like it feels like 72% hot lavas. Yeah, so. Why was it was hot? She screamed, 'cause her tongue burned with the hot of amazing, 'cause it kinda turned her tunge on. It 'cause I'm Lucifer, he said to her in his sexy, crusty voice.
I wasn't serious.
Crusty voice.
Don't you love crusty voices?
Oh man. So is your name, okay? Why though was it so hot? She inspired. I'm the Deville, he said to her forcefully. OMG. End chapter 7.
No!